Hey guys, welcome back to another What If here. Today we are doing What If the Uzumaki had a dojutsu part 1. So, well, as you can see on screen, which, hey, it ain't nothing, well, yeah, don't know what I said before. Yeah, maybe, I guess, scene 2, maybe. Don't know if I can get 2 on the screen, but yeah, should be possibly scene 2, which would be, well, Naruto say female, yes, female Naruto, as this will be a what if around, well, Naruto was a girl and had an Uzumaki dojutsu, which also arose if the Uzumaki had a dojutsu, because we know they didn't, but they did have the Uzumaki chain. Well, yes, they were called the Uzumaki chains or the Antimantian sealing chains and whatever, but yes, the Uzumakis were the only one known to have them. Yeah, anyway. So, yeah, but Naruto won't be born a girl, put it that way. It's like, well, say this is like a very rare like dojutsu in the Uzumaki clan. So like very few people outside of the Uzumaki people know. Like inside, the clan, everyone knows. Like all the Uzumakis, like in the clan, know what their dojutsu is. But outside of it, like maybe anyone that's in Toei Uzumaki will possibly find out if their wife has it, wife or husband, has that jutsu. But if not, then they probably won't know, as they'll probably keep it quite secret, because yeah, or at least because it's so rare. Like time anyone's seen it, it's yeah. So it's like only the clan people themselves know. And it's like maybe out one, say like. So of course, as the clan's been growing, more and more people have been slowly starting to have the dojutsu. Say around maybe like 100 at the time of its destruction had it, but all Uzumakis like carry the gene for the eyes, so no matter, and it's like a dominant gene, so no matter, say if you get the Uchiha eyes, it's like, this is an even higher form, well, not a higher form, but it's like this would be half Uchiha, well, if the Uchiha child could awaken their eyes, well, it won't be the Uchiha eyes, it would be the Uzumaki eyes, as it's just more pronounced, and plus it can, well, not so you guys may be happy, but yeah, tell me in the comments if you'd like this, say like like in its, not say final form, but in, so like it can go through, say, a load of different forms, but one of those forms could literally be the, what's it called? The Renigon. Like this itself can lead down to that. Like of course with each, I version, let's call it version, it would get stronger. So, it would lead all the way down then to the Renigon, and then the Renigon would lead through its path. Or that. Well, no, it would then carry on with the Uzumaki eye. But yeah. And of course, say, there would be two variants of the, it's like, it's like it has to go through, say, like a period where the user has to get, say, used to the eyes. And then there's also, then the, the mature and immature, that's it. So like there's two versions of unmature, and then there's the mature version, and there's a half matured one, which is which you can only get once you've got the matured one, and there's a reason why. So the the matured ones, unmatured ones, they will generally just have, say, as you guys can currently see, like the colour blues, as you can see in Naruto's eyes, or Ruby's eyes, as anytime I make a female, I tend to have like more of a mum's like hair, so instead of it being spiky, it's smooth and red. Yeah, like a very similar colour to Kusuno's hair, because why? Well, why not? Yeah. But yeah, anyway, so it'd be like the unmatured one, so it'd be like a lighter version of what it is. So like, say, maybe a nice bright blue, like, sky blue, whatever so like, well, yeah, like, around the sky blue. And then this one, which you can currently see, is the matured version of the unmatured, which just gives like slightly better, but the only really difference is the colour and just what like path of progression it goes through. So there's two different like strength versions, and like with the, say, whirlpool pattern in the eyes, it'd either be the sky colour or the blue colour. As you see, the blue colour is a lot rarer one. So at the time of the village destruction, maybe only like 2. So out of all the 100 people that had like the eyes, 2 of them had that. So it's it's a lot stronger. It's just very, very rare. As why not? Because like the Uzumaki were more known for their sealing, not their power or dojutsu. So like a lot of them tend to keep it quite secret. Anyway, so yeah, and also the one other ability is like it can copy. I was thinking then, I was like, well, how about it can like copy like not like, say, clan jutsus, because they're just jutsus that the clan came up with, and that's only the clan can use, which I guess the chains are, the anti-material sealing chains are. I don't know, not sure. Anyway, yeah, but like you can copy, say, jutsus, but like the child would have to be born to, say the anti-magic change, which is an Uzumaki one. Of course, like Ruby, will have access to them, but more so because like any ruler that has the like eyes, because when they're born, they're like say active for a period of time after birth, which the only reason why is because the eyes are using the mum's chakra, because, well, that is, the thing that forms the belly button when the doctors cut that off. So once doctors cut that off, the eyes would fade away because of, well, they're not pulling. There's no more chakra going to them, so, yeah. And, like, the Uzumakis have made it all that if you're, like, say if you've got the change, which I think a lot more people had, or all the Uzumakis did, and Naruto's half-beat, so half-beat maybe don't, I don't know. But yeah, but because, like, say, Kushina had the change, and we know she has the change, well, had, because she's dead, so she had the change, and thus, when Ruby is born, her eyes would be active, and, she would remember, and she would, tell her husband, the fourth Kage, and, well, no, Minato, yeah, which is the fourth Kage, yeah, she'd tell Minato that, like her clan's dojutsu, which Minato would go, oh, I didn't realise, these Makis had dojutsu, No, it's a very, very rare one. Even inside the Uzumaki, it's like 100 people had at the time of its show. So, then I guess it's like, well, like all Uzumakis have the chance of, like all Uzumakis have the gene for it. So it's like, like, so all Uzumakis can pass it down. As long as you're related to an Uzumaki, you're going to have this gene in your blood. And yeah, and I'd say, well, yeah, it's like, oh, so then what's another, like, any character? It's just like, well, yeah, and the one that's had it so far has generally had their gender swap. So, what? So, what do you mean? It's like, well, if they're born, say, a boy, like, say, once from the age of around 4 to until they hit 10, it's like 10. If they're, like, on their 10th birthday, if they haven't turned into a girl yet, if they're born male, then they're born on their 10th birthday. So then, like, next year, their puberty happens. So from, like, the age of 4 up until 10, there's a chance between 4 and, say, like, 9 and 11 months and 31 days. Or 30 days, depending on whatever month it is. Yeah, and whenever they're born. Yeah. So it's like they've got from there to there to, like, turn into a girl if they're a boy, and if they're a girl, they go from a girl to a boy between the age of 4 to 10. So before they hit puberty, they would be. So when they hit puberty, they would be in their final, their final gender, and it's more so just the characteristics of the eyes themselves. Which also means that even if you're an Uzumaki, if, like, you take the eyes out and then plug them into somebody else, even if they're active, they will not work. They'll just deactivate, and you'll just have that person's eye colour, which would be quite creepy. But yeah. So, yeah, it's pretty much like a defense that, it would know the person's gender before and after. So it's more so like a security that the eyes have got in themselves. Because obviously it'd be able to fetch in the brain, the gender before the switch and after the switch. So yeah. So then it always knows. Which does also mean that, if a person, say, went blind with the eyes, and another person, say, with also the eyes, could implant one of the eyes into the other, and it would obviously, it would still work, because even if, say, the person was a male at birth and then female, and the other person was female and then male, well, it still doesn't matter as long as the gender changed. I don't know about, like, change as in, like, not like, oh yeah, it's not, well, obviously permanent, so they could either have a child or do it with their fellow partner to get a child, get their partner pregnant to get a child. Yeah. Anyway, so yeah, and also because no survives in this, so yeah. How well was say it also another part of the eyes, which is another reason why. And no, only the Christian jerky, which is obviously, all these Uzmakis do know this, but so from, they would say have a 2-hour window, of, say, strength, where you can have a tail be stripped out of you, and, you'll live, but depending on how strong it is, depends on how much time you get. The stronger it is, the less time you get. So, when, of course, say, Krishna had, like when you're at 9 tails' power, you've only got 30 minutes of that power before like after that 30 minutes, from, your baby looking at you with those eyes, you'll die after those 30 minutes if the tail beast gets ripped out of you. But yeah, otherwise, if you're with inside, no matter how close you are to the limit, or like if you're second under or say 30 seconds, as long as it, like if it is 30 seconds and then the beach gets ripped out of you, you're still going to live, because it's right on the time it should expire, because the expiry time is 31. So once it's gone 31, then you'll die after 31, but not 30. So yeah, anyway, so she would give birth to, obviously they would have a name, male and female, as she would have told Minato that. And so of course Minato, even though he's expecting a boy, knows in, say, he thinks, around 10 years old, I'll have a baby gal, gal. So he knows that. But obviously, and of course, like everything kind of goes in canon, except for, of course, Kushina, even though she still thinks she's going to die, but of course Minato, counted from the point of where that child saw, had the eyes, and he'd remember that and he'd tell Kushina, like the eye colour, because if it's, like sky blue, it's weak, like it's still a lot stronger, but yeah. And if it's this colour, I would say like this colour is, only having two has the chance of going all the way down if the user does manage to can go all the way down to the Rinnegan, because why not? Yeah. So I feel like, there's got to be one eye that would eventually, evolve into the Rinnegan. Yeah. Or give, say, similar powers to the Rinnegan. Yeah. Anyway, I haven't even pretty much started yet. It's gone on 17 minutes. Oops. Oh well. I needed, to explain what the eye was. And also, like, the half state, why, say, like, why, so then how comes, like, they've got a half matured one, but they can only achieve it once they've fully matured it? Well, because as the eye slowly matures, like the black lines, as you can see in the eye, those will slowly start to form into a circle as, when the person activates, the eyes. Like over time, you could slowly actually see that person's eyes, they swirl, go around if they, use it a lot and that. So yeah. This is, over a certain amount of time, the eyes will get matured, obviously. Yeah. Anyway, so why? Well, because, like, in the, of course, unmatured one, like, it can copy, like, jutsus, but, of course, like, jutsus, but also, no matter how many hand seals you use, so if you get it down to using, say, one hand seal, or, like, using, say, like one hand to do like a fireball jutsu or the like Shokan jutsu, it would still be able to copy it, because it's also copying the chakra flow and what happens. So yeah, and then it does all of that, and then of course dumps it then into the brain. So then the person can do it with one hand. Do these like clone jutsu with the one hand. So if they see someone do it with two, and then another person do it with one, well, they'll be able to, they'll only be able to do it with, say, the one, but if they copy the two hands and the one hand, well, then they can do with both hands, if they wanted to, one or both. and I'd say like also like they'd have like a, because their own ability, the eye's own ability, which would be able to make a like three-dimensional room in their head, but only when their eyes are shut, and that's, you know, the room that they are in currently. And, you know, like if anything is say changed from what they know, that should, like, from what, you know, like when you get comfortable in the room and then suddenly move something, you know, like slightly, or changes something slightly, you know something's off, but you don't know what. Well, the eye will tell you what's off. And yeah, and the matured version would allow that, but also if you're blind and you had the like mastered version, the matured version, not mastered, the matured version, as you walk, of course, it would be using then sound waves to make out what the objects say look like, and then put them like in your brain as a map. So still see, but more so from say you know, from a like say like, you know, 360 degree view you have of that. But that's only the I say mastered, but I mean matured. Anyway, I think some of you guys are probably yelling at me, get on with it. Yeah, explain the eye as you go through it. No. Anyway, so the half one I will explain further down the line. But yeah, anyway. So, well, Naruto would be born, and everything kind of goes, you know, the same what happened. Because Minato, you know, like Kushina, well, Kushina would be, you know, I'm sorry, Minato, that, you know, I'll be leaving you and you'll be stuck here, you know, like stuck here, you know, like looking after each other. It's like, but don't talk silly, Kushina, you know, you're not going to die, you just barely made it. It's like, what do you mean? It's like, you're tired, but you just made it in. Like, if the Bijou had been like pulled out of you a second after, you would have probably lost your life. If you didn't have it still back inside of you, you would have lost your life. So, yeah. But then, you know, she's not with me, to also trying to comfort her. So she's not sure, but she'll believe, you know, she'll believe Minto though. And of course Minto would then do, you know, of course, everything else then from that point plays kind of the same. When he, you know, does the Reaper Death Seal, and he does, well, he, you know, seals half, well, yeah. Well, you guys can tell me in the comments, would you want half or all of it in, like, in the Nine Tails, either half of it sealed in? Well, no, yeah, let's go with half. Yes, so half will be inside of Naruto as he seals, and then, you know, he'll seal the other half inside of Kushina. So, you know, because Naruto's, you know, child prophecy, and he would remember that. And of course he would want that, you know, Naruto, so that she would be able to use the power of the Nine-Tails Fox to, like, win the war, that, you know, to be, like, the masked man. Yeah. To possibly beat him in the future, whatever's gonna happen. And, you know, the other half in Kushina, just in case she, you know, like, she did expire that. But yeah. Oh, and also the frog is still sitting on the fox. Don't know really what happened to the frog, but yeah. Gamma Bunta, he stays sitting on the Ted Fox, but, you know, they just manages to get there before, you know, the time runs out on the summon. So I'd probably say the stronger you like the stronger you are, the probably more time you've got with your summon. Yeah. Anyway, so as she of course grows up, Kushina. Well, no, as he grows up first. Yes, as Naruto himself, grows up and he reaches the age of 4. So now he's 4 years old. From 4 onwards, Kushina would go, hey, Naruto, I think it's about time I told you something. So, what is it, Mum? It's like, well, when they were just like, about the day you was born, it's like, oh, okay, are you going to tell me who Dad was? Who, my dad was? As, he'd know that his dad's dead, but he doesn't know who it is. She'd go, well, maybe when you're a year younger, a year older or that. Oh no, she'd also tell him then, because why not? Go, well, your dad was the 4th Hokage Naruto. His name was Minato Namikaze. So, and he'd kind of feel sad and that. Be right back. Okay, hopefully my voice sounds better now. Don't know. Anyway, so she'd go like explain and who his dad was and that, and she'd go, well, also you was born with our clan's dojutsu. It's like, what? Like, a clan had a dojutsu? It's like, yeah, but you, well, it's not like you can't tell anyone that, though. It's just like, well, at least try and keep it a secret for as long as you can. But I'll try and train you into like awakening. Well, not awakening it, but awakening it. And you'd go, oh, cool, I'm like, do you have it? And she'd go, well, no, but how I know you've got is because when a child is born of the Uzumaki clan that has the dojutsu, the baby is born with like it active in their eyes. So we know, that you've, then got access to the eyes. And also all Uzumakis are taught, about the eye and how to raise their child to activate it and that. And what kind of skills, well, not skills, but what rough abilities the eyes have. Yeah. Well, yeah. Anyway. And, and she'd go out also from now you're 4, so from now, anytime from now until you're 10 years old, you could one day, say go sleep, and, you've been a boy, it's like, yeah, and then the next day you'd wake up, well, with it missing what's in between your legs, you'd go from being a boy to a girl. It's like, what? But it's like you will have to get used to it, but it's it's a kind of safety thing of the eye, I guess, of the fire dojutsu. It's like, so then yeah, and if anyone takes the eye out of you, they would not be able to use it unless it's another Uzumaki that has the eye, say the same eye as you. But if that person then goes blind, you could give them one of your eyes and they'll be able to use the eye again. Oh, so it's like it knows what your genuine used to be and what it's now. It's like, yeah, it's like, yeah, as long as you've pretty much been swapped, but a permanent change, down to, you may not understand this yet, but once you're older, I'll of course, tell you more how, but it changes on the cellular level, meaning, so you may now be able to, say, get a say like get a girl pregnant now too, but once that change has occurred in you, you'll then be able to get pregnant and have a child. So yeah, and I'm hoping it's like, again, I know it's, a bit of a wrong thing to hope, but I hope that change kind of happens sooner than later. It's like, you got right number, because, well, in around like 5 to 9 months, well, yeah, say within like 3 to 4 months now, too. No, you'll be going to the academy, and well, I hope you've switched before then, so I don't have to explain to the academy and everyone else why you've entered as this gender, but you're actually this, what's going on type deal. It's like, so you kind of keep it more secret. It's like, yeah. And, well, your dad told me before he died that you had the most powerful eyes of them all, rich. Like, even though 100 people in like land had it at the time of its destruction, only 2 people had the most powerful eyes. And it seems to be like only 2, like, not only 2 people, but it is like it's, well, yeah. Anyway. Yeah, also, I do want to add one more thing. It's like, oh yeah, she'd also go, start explaining, she'd go, also Naruto, like, also say, like, the sooner you transform into your final gender, your true gender, I guess to say, it's like, yeah, the more, like, the, not more powerful you will be, but the more potential power you have. So, what does that mean? Well, think of it, say someone, say 2 people don't train, say with like this eye, and one person say transfers when they're, like say like 4 years and 2 days old. So yeah, and another one transforms at the age of 5, and both of them don't train well. Say one has, like, say, like the one that's transformed when they were 4 years and 1 month old, they'll have a, say, like, they'll be able to say, like, say jutsus are more powerful, but also also, your chakra levels are also a lot higher. So how much higher? Like, it depends. The faster you transform, the higher your chakra levels are going to be, and well, also there's also another thing. It's only for, because you've probably gone, you've seen it, when you've walked around the village by yourself, people, like, you've seen them, like, oh, that's the demon boy, you may have heard, or some other thing like that, but you're not, you're my son. It's like, yeah, well, why do they call me that? It's like, well, because on that 100-day, of your birth and your dad died, the 9-tailed fox was, well, he got loose, and, well, she'd explain it, and, he'd be, well, Dad, you always told me that, that Dad loved, the village, and, well, he showed it. Just go, why, you don't hate him, Mommy? He's like, well, no, Mum. It's like, to be a Hokage is to, like, put the village above everything else. And, like, and to sacrifice, and, like, he can sacrifice, say, maybe, like, say like somebody else's baby, if he wasn't willing to sacrifice, me to, to be its Jinchuriki. And, she feels happy with that, It's like, and plus it just means that, I've got, I have to be strong. I want to be, Hokage. Of course, she would already know that Naruto wants to be Hokage, but, she'd go, I want to, he'd be, I want to be Hokage. I want to be the strongest Hokage that ever is. And maybe I'll just be able to, tame, speak to the Nine-Tailed Fox. Maybe I'll be able to speak to all Nine-Tailed beasts and, maybe make them my friends. As, of course, Kurama inside is just, he's interested, and obviously, he hasn't exactly seen the eyes yet, but from, the way Kushina has been talking, he already has kind of figured out that this is the Child of Prophecy as before Naruto was born, before most of the world had chakra. So Sage Six Paths and the Toad were talking. I'm not sure if it's a fellow episode of Naruto, but I don't know. But I always reference it. But yeah, Child of Prophecy was brought up, and to explain a child that was born half Uzumaki, half Namikaze would be born with the an Uzumaki dojutsu, and he would explain, the colour of the eyes, and Kuma, all Nine-Tailed beasts would remember that, because Sage Six Paths would tell them, and this Child of Prophecy, and he would kind of explain what the Toad told him. And of course, Kurama always kept quite close to, the Child of Prophecy, literally and physically, literally and mentally, because he always remembered that. Because of course, in the attack when he was finally pulled into the true mindscape of the, all the not all of them, but most of the tail beasts are there. And yeah, if you've watched it, you know what I'm trying to talk about. Yeah. Don't know. I went on a rant so much that I forgot where I was going. Oh well. So yeah. And anyway, so of course, I'd say now that he's 4, of course, Kushina is going to do some training, and they should go, oh yeah, Naruto, now that you're 4 years old, how about don't you start training with me? It's like, huh? But I'm not in the academy yet, Mum. It's like, well, it's better to start training early, because the earlier you train Naruto, the stronger you'll be, and of course, you don't know who could be in the class. That could be, Nechuya, or someone else. Maybe there could be even another Uzumaki in this village that I don't know of. And who knows? And yeah, so yeah, and after some of course sparring and that, she would go and make dinner, and I'd say as the year of course is late, so as they go to bed, after they've eaten up, they've had their bath or shower, they then go into their bedrooms, and he goes to sleep, but instead of kind of going to sleep, he's pulled into his mindscape. Now just almost pulls him in, because he wants to see the child of the prophecy, or the possible child of the child of prophecy. Yeah. And Kurama also kind of wants to get a massive jump head start with chakra training. To see, like, oh yeah, it'd be like the second, like, he awakens his chakra, the eyes would, like, quickly flash on and off just to show that they've received chakra flow and chakra is now flowing through. I'd say, yes, chakra awakening mean that they don't immediately say they have chakra inside of them, but it's like they have to awaken it. And if you think, well, then how's the soul, while keeping back Kurama? Well, it's Kurama himself is leaking some of like the chakra out of his chakra out, and thus it gets recycled into the cell. Anyway, also Naruto can't use his chakra. That's very much what like the chakra awakening thing is that it's the ability for him to be able to physically use his chakra to say make answers and to actually say like make like the shadow clone jutsu where he's able to make a actual tangible clone. Yeah. You of course, if say somebody that hasn't awoken their chakra won't be able to do one, whereas somebody who has will be able to do jutsus and that. And yeah. And of course Kuma would would they would explain who he is, and he'd go, well, brat, I'm the yeah. He'd be kind of walking up in the sewer, and he'd then he'd be this is a scary dream. As he comes up a big huge gate that seems infinitely tall, and he's like, hello, is anyone there? As he then sees like eyes that giant red slit eyes, as someone explained to him what the nine tails look like. And he'd go, are you the nine-tailed fox? As he would go, this boy knows of me. And of course, I just watched Kusno explain, to him what I look like and that. It's like, yes, Naruto, I am the nine-tailed fox. But that is not my real name. So, what is the name? Like, well, yeah, well, say you have to pass a test first, and it's like you can only do this test once. So, oh, like, yes, but you won't know say what the conditions are. It's like, well, then how can I pass? Well, when you awaken your chakra, that's when I'll be able to tell you if you've passed or failed. If you pass, then I'll tell you my name. But if you fail, you won't know my name. Got it? And it'd be yes, and so you're gonna help me unlock my chakra? So, he nod his head. Yes, I will help you. As he thinks, oh yeah, from tomorrow onwards I'll get to use, our chakra, and Kuma, thinks like, well, what Kusuno's explained around, the time of when the people generally change from boy to girl or girl to boy is generally when they have their chakra and that, like their chakra activated, or that. Like sometimes it's on. Well, most of the time it's random, but it generally tends to fall on when they start using. Well, not start using, but when they have their chakra awakened, more so, like when they have the ability to use chakra, and yeah, and so like you'd take Naruto, you'd go, well, no, you'd explain to Naruto how to awaken it. So, like, say 5 minutes, or say, 5 minutes pass, and he's like, whoa, this is like, like, of course, Kuma, he'd be able to awaken his chakra, and Kuma would see that flash of, like, his, like, the eyes, the flash of the blue, as you guys can see, that blue, the bright blue. You'd see that in his eyes, and he'd go, well, kid, seems like you've passed my test. It's like, I have? It's like, yes. Some people know me as the Nine-Tailed Fox, others call me the Demon Fox. But all things have a name, and my name is Kurama, the Nine-Tailed Fox. And he'd go, and it's nice to meet you, Naruto Uzumaki, the child of prophecy. It's like, what? What? You'd be kind of like, lost. You'd go, what? It's like, your mum will probably tell you down the line what I said. But yes, I am Kurama, the Nine-Tailed Fox. And, as you've kind of guessed when you was talking to your mum, there's 8 more others besides me, going from 1 to 9. Of course, one tails is the weakest, 9 tails me. Well, I'm the strongest of them all, and only your clan alone can only hold me back, can only, like, sell me. So, yeah. And, well, yeah, of course, the ones of Kushina would, like, could hear, he would obviously be mentally linked to his other half, because they're not dead. Yeah. Not like in the meantime, no, but Kurama was pretty much dead and alive, or alive and dead at the same time. He was the only tailed beast that was both. So technically, if you haven't seen Naruto yet, sorry guys, but in Naruto, Naruto, Next Generation, like, Kurama dies, and from one thing he does, him and Naruto do a certain thing, and Kurama sacrifices himself, pretty much. He sacrifices himself to save pretty much the village and Naruto's family. And yeah, anyway, I go on these rants, I don't know where I was going with them. Oops. Should really, anyway, and you'd go, I guess I better let you, sleep. So will I be able to talk to you tomorrow, Kurama? He thinks that, sure, why not? I'll talk to you tomorrow. Oh yeah, and about his other half. And his other half would go, I guess, and of course Kushina would also be talking to her 9 tails, and he'd go, seems like your brat really is the child of prophecy, Kushina. And also, my other half has helped your brat awaken his chakra network, so he may be a girl when you wake up. There's a chance that he may not be, but there's a high chance that he will be a girl when he wakes up. So, yeah. and that's when he wakes up. So he's 4 years and some odd hours old. Yeah, pretty much. Technically, you would say a day old by that point, but yeah. Anyway, getting too deep into time and that. So yeah, he's 4 years and 1 day old. He becomes scary. He'd wake up. His mum would go. His mum would, knock on his door, go, "Come on, Naruto, time to get up." And he'd wake up and he'd go, she'd be, "Alright, Mum, I'll be, just let me get dressed." And she hears, the more feminine sound in his voice. And she thinks, well, I guess Kuma was right. Yeah. And go, well, of course I was right. Yeah. Well, am I wrong? Kushina is like, don't know, but why are you being so talkative to me? It's not like you. It's like, fine then. And he'd go back to sleep. Yeah. Mind you, Kushina only knows Kuma by Nine-Tailed Fox, as he hasn't bothered telling her just yet. But yeah. And yeah. No, I'm not gonna end it here. We'll go on for maybe a bit more. Maybe make this a 2-hour one? Maybe? If I do that, I'm gonna have to wait an hour for the window. I don't know. I'm not sure how long this will be, but it's definitely gonna be a long one. Yeah, anyway, let's go and get back on track. So yeah. So now Ruby, she wakes up and from his mum, or from her mum now calling, her, and Kushina would, hear the more feminine sound of her answering back, "Okay, Mum, I'll be down there in a minute." Let me retry that. "Okay, Mum, I'll be down there in a minute." Don't know. Did that sound better? I don't know. I think I made it sound a bit worse than better. 'Cause I don't really know how a child is meant to sound, I guess. Not I guess, I know I don't know. Or I should know. Oh, whatever. Yeah. Anyway. And Kushina's like, well, I guess today, and she thinks, well, I guess today we're going to be clothes shopping and that, and yeah, well, I guess I can wait until, she's 6 or 7 to explain puberty and that. Yeah, so, because, Ruby finally fully wakes up and very consciously is like, oh, my head hurts and my voice, it sounds more like a girl's voice. Just go, Mum did tell me that, I could turn into a girl. And even Kuma told me that once I activate my chakra network that I could, there's a high chance of me becoming a girl. So, I guess I am a girl now, but let's check just to make sure, shall we? As, she would pour down the, well, yeah, she'd go, on top of a bed and, Kushina would be, she would open her she would open her door, Ruby's door, as Ruby's like, looking down at her now. I'm not really sure what I can say, but the what a girl has. I'll just say that because I don't really know what I can say, as I at least want to keep it child friendly, but of course I don't want to go, yes, this is child friendly. Yeah. Anyway, so she looks down as Kuzna walks in, and she's like, I guess it's Naruto. It seems like, oh no, I should say Ruby, but yeah, it seems like Naruto seems like you have become a girl, and she says that. I was doing nothing, man. It's like, no, it's alright. It's understandable that you'd want to check yourself out after you transform and all, as she's a bit red, as Naruto's just his entire her entire face is now just bright red. It's like, oh, and I heard the name that I heard you call me Ruby. It's like, oh, right, well, when you was inside of me and I told your dad about the Uzumaki's dojutsu, the eyes, and what they would do to a child if you had it. The one thing that it would do to you is change the gender. We thought of two names, one that would call you if you was a boy and one if you was a girl. And also depending on, and of course when you were a boy we thought of calling you Naruto, as you know, but now you're a girl, we thought of calling you Ruby. I think one reason was if you had red hair, but also I just see you still have your red hair, so it's beautiful. I don't think my red hair though is as beautiful as yours, mum. I just aww. Yeah. And I can't remember what Ruby stands for. Ruby does stand, like the name Ruby for a child, it does have a definition. Yeah. And I can't remember what it is, but yeah. It's like, to me and your dad, yours hair jam and that, and, like with red hair, the really only gem that's red is a ruby, so, yeah. That's kind of why we decided to call you, Ruby if you was a girl, and Naruto if you was a boy. And communication will go well, and you will have to, of course, start getting used to being called Ruby now, but yeah. And she'd be in her head, it seems like my parents were answered that. It happened before, it happened at a young age also, because, the older they are, the less comfortable they would be in being, in the other gender's body, even though it's still their own body, another gender is, the opposite sex that they were, so, they'll be extremely uncomfortable in that. So yeah, and she'd go, it seems like we'll have to go shopping now, and because now to go, it's like for what? It's like, well, for clothes, silly. You know, you're a girl now. You can't buy your, your boy clothes no more. You're gonna have to get, all girls clothes now. Okay, but it's like, oh, don't worry. You still get them in the, colour you like and all. Like, that is up to you, obviously, but you have to be girls, no boy stuff. No boy clothes. Or at least when it comes to the underwear. Yeah. And she kind of thinks, and someone goes, well, guess we could also try, writing a skirt or that, and like she's a bit red, but she isn't that hesitant as she's 4 years old. Child, like if a child at that age would be swapped, they'd probably be more willing to wear like a skirt, because around that age where they're trying out new things and starting to kind of get the style of how they want to be dressed or how they dress themselves. And well, yeah, it's like, what clothes do I feel comfortable in, and that. It's like, even at that age, that's what they're starting to get. And of course, if you're 9 or 10, you've probably already got your own style, and you're probably not going to be that willing if you turn into a girl one morning. Probably not going to be willing to, get into a like dress or a skirt or that. Yeah, probably very unwilling to. Yeah, but if you're 4 or 5 years old, you'll probably be quite willing. So yeah. And they of course, they'd all go out. But because she's, because she swapped genders, because her, I'd say, like, well, I don't know. I guess you guys can. No. So like her used to be kind of like a bit spiky. It would be smooth and like spiky, but it would always be short. And now it's like long. Say maybe like, say like halfway down like the back, but nice and smooth and that. And a more kind of like, say like the red before was a kind of more brighter red. A more like vibrant, brighter red. Right now it's a more like Kushner style red. And of course, now she also adopts the Kushner ability of getting crimson hair when she gets mad. Because why not? Yeah. Yeah. I think the only time saw that were probably in filler arcs and that. Well, when we saw Kushner's like hair go be the demonic red. Kushner's demonic colour when she's angry. Yeah. I think that was also, a sign of Minato getting away. Yeah, anyway. So, yeah, they'd have, like, the village would be wondering, where's that boy, like, they'd go, huh? I didn't know, like, Kushner had a girl. And, her friend, I forget her friend's name, but it's Sasuke's mother. Sasuke's mum stops. Sees Kushner and goes, "Oh, hey, Kushner, you're out. You're outside." It's like, "Yeah, I'm out with my daughter." Yeah, she's like, "Well, no," "I'm out with my daughter, my." Daughter, yes. I'm out with my daughter going clothes shopping today. It's like, oh? So I didn't realise you had a daughter. Thought you had son. Well, she's got I'll explain oh, why don't you come over for lunch? And I'll explain to you when we're at my house, because I can't explain to you in public. It's like, oh, okay, sure, why not? As of course she's got Sasuke in her arms. Yeah, baby Sasuke. So what you doing should go well. What you doing? Here out and about. I thought you would have been looking after Ichachi or that. It's like no one whose dad's training him, and well, thought why not go for a walkabout with Sasuke. I know he's still little and that, but I know he's still 4 years old. I know he's 4 now, and of course Sasuke. I know no, yeah, Sasuke beer in her hands, and of course Ruby would be behind Goose in his legs. Yeah, and she's like, oh, why don't we walk and talk? And and I am not, well, I don't know, I guess you guys can decide on the ship on who you'd want to be with Ruby. So yeah, you guys, yeah, because I want it to be somewhat driven by you guys in this what if. So yeah, well, most of my what ifs I tend to go, well, ask you questions and that. I do also have another what if I want to do, so I may do that maybe up tomorrow from when this is uploaded. So when you're seeing this tomorrow, so Wednesday, when you guys see this, it should be Wednesday, and well, possibly there's a probably say there's a 10% chance of me actually doing that. Who knows? Either Wednesday or Thursday. I don't know. Probably Thursday. Well, maybe Thursday. Don't know. Or just next week entirely. But yeah. Anyway. As walking. Just before they, as I walk in, Ruby's a lot more shy because of the other people calling what she still remembers what the adults called her, and she at least vaguely remembers this person, tall person. Never really cared much, but she also knows Jiraiya. I'd probably say she's heard about Tsunade from Jiraiya, and she's seen Kakashi because Kakashi would stop by every so often to check up and that on them, see how they're doing and that. So yeah. Oh yeah, and and I would say any time obviously she has to pay the bill, so any time when she goes on a mission, Kakashi tends to be babysitting Naruto. Yeah. So yeah. And and of course she's she's just hoping that when Jiraiya when she's old and she meets up with Jiraiya doesn't try and peep on her daughter or that. She just hopes not, but also Jiraiya knows what she's capable of doing, and I would say I'm not sure. What would you say, guys? Is Jiraiya more scared of well, yeah. What two girls is she more scared of? Is she more scared of Tsunade, or is she more scared of? Oh, I forgot her name now. Dang it. Naruto's mum. Oh, why did I forget her name? Anyway, like that would be it. You know what? Walking and yeah, they would go into like the clothes shop and like she'd pick out underwear and all of that for Ruby and that. Yeah, for Ruby. So then, they would be then on the way back because nothing really inside happened. They would just be talking, what's, gone on in the week for them. So they generally catch up maybe once every week or once every other week or that. So yeah. And she generally doesn't have Sasuke with her. And plus this was just a random day that they both, came out at the same time. So yeah. They'd like go, they'd go in and, Sasuke would be tired, so Sasuke, like should, and yeah, Krishna would go, oh, don't worry, just put him, on, like I say, and just put him, like over here and tuck him in. So you sure? It's like, yeah, it's, it's alright. It's like, I'm surprised your one is not tired. Then it's like, well, I guess it's understanding, because, she's a Uzumaki and all. It's like, yeah, well, yeah. She, like, you always like, yeah, I think, that's right, she's got a lot of energy. And, she'd go, yeah, and, are you going to explain? It's like, yeah. And, she'll explain, she'll go, like, well, I didn't even know your clan had dojutsu. It's like, made dojutsu. It's like, yeah, but because it's generally, like, and because the one that Ruby's got, it's the most powerful version of it. And there's been tales in history with the Uzumaki, like one or two people have been able to awaken the Rinnegan. It's like, the eye that says 6 paths had. It's like, yeah. Apparently, one or two of people in the past have been able to awaken the Rinnegan through the the bright blue eyes of it. It's like, oh, so she used them, yeah. So now I'm gonna. Well, I was going to 2 days, but because her gender switch happened, I had to go out and go with her and pick up all new clothes for her. So yeah, that's understandable. So yeah, so from tomorrow onwards, there'll be chakra control and that. It's like, oh, you've already started training now? It's like, oh yeah, started training a bit on a birthday, but yeah, didn't do that much. So yeah, yeah, they'd carry on talking a bit, and then she'd go, well, I've got to go home now. Prepare like dinner before, like the boys get home and they start moaning at me. Like before they start moaning. Like, oh, your dinner should have been done, by now and all of that. It's like, yeah. Oh, well, bye then. And you see that she goes. And of course, like, Ruby's just being with her mum the entire time. Yeah. As she's quite, with everything that's happened, she's, like, shy. Because, she's got mum now, so she's going to be shy and quite wary of people. Yeah. and she'd go, and she'd go and say like, you don't have to worry, Ruby, she's a friend of mine. It's like, when will I have, when will I get to see, Pervy Sensei? It's like, I don't know whenever he's back, back in the village. Ruby's like, I think Kakashi's might be coming round, soon to, look after you. No, tomorrow. Well, no, not tomorrow. No, the day after, Kakashi, looking at you as, knocking the door, and she's like, who is it? I don't think Jiraiya's back yet. As, you go over and, oh, dang it. Why do I have to forget his name? I'm forgetting everyone's name now. Not Sasuke, not Sakura, not Naruto, obviously. Why do I forget his name? Yeah, I remember his name now. I don't get Kakashi. Kakashi would knock and he'd go, hi Kushina. It's like, huh? I thought what's up? Have you got a mission? 2 days from that? It's like, oh no, I just wanted to stop by. I heard from, around, I heard when I was walking around the village that you had a girl with you. It's like, oh, right here. I was, Rude go, she'd go, Ruby, Kakashi's here. She's like, Kakashi, Uncle Kakashi, as she'd run out from, she would run out from the front room, and she would run out from the front room to Kakashi as she's like, oh, hi Kakashi. She's like, hi there. It's like, oh right, Mum decided to call me Ruby. That's my new name now. It's like, right, of course, Kushina would have told Kakashi, because Kakashi, stops by every so often. Maybe say maybe 2 to 3 times a week. 3 to 4 times a week. They would stop by to see how the pair are doing, and she would have told Kakashi. After, of course, Naruto's birth of the eye, the Uzumaki eye, because, But she would always forgotten what, name of, the other name of her child when it came to Kakashi. So, yeah. And, and Kakashi go, hi there, So, why are you here, Kakashi? Well, I just, wanted to stop by and see you. I heard around the village that, your mum was walking with a girl today, so I wanted to stop by and, see. And just and to say the least, you look just as cute as your mum does. And she's going, no, I think Mummy's cuter than me. And she's like, aww. Yeah. And, she goes, she go, oh, come in, Kakashi, I'm just about to, finish, finish cooking, I'm just about to start dishing up, so, come in, have some. It's like, if you're alright. It's like, yeah. And it seemed like he would, come in and, they would talk, yeah, they'd, talk over dinner. Roughly what I've, done today. And it's like, and it's like, what did you think of, like, the Uchiha kid? The Uchiha. So I didn't really speak. I I didn't really speak to him. It's like, oh, well, it's like, well, because of, like, the village calls me, like, monster, beast and that. I don't really talk to anyone besides from you, mum, and pervy sage or pervy sensei. Well, mum calls him pervy sensei, and I call him pervy sage. It's like, yeah, and they're the only people who I talk to. I don't really talk to anyone else. As I don't really want them calling me, a monster or that. So, yeah, it's like, oh, okay. And it's like, I still don't understand, why. It's like Kuma was, well, no, she's going, the nine-tailed fox. He was forced to attack the village. As it's like the first time they're in, it's like, of course, Kushina knew that, of course, Naruto talked. Oh, well, Ruby had talked to the Ninetales, but she didn't know how much. Yeah, and it's like, how do you know this? It's like, well, in the Ninetales, he talks to me, he says, he said something about prophecy child, something like that. And, it was something, like prophecy. And, yeah. And it's like, why, like, aren't, like, any of the adults, like, can't, you and mum and, Giants, like, smart enough and see me for who I am. It's like, I may hold, I may, like, I may only have, like, sealed, I may only have the, like, I may only, I may only be I only may be the Ninetales is, like, jailer, but I'm not, I'm not. It's like, it's like, like the glass, when you put water in it, it's, there's still water and glass. Like the container is still a container, and whatever's inside is still whatever it was, inside. It's like, paper doesn't become a seal, or the seal becomes paper. They're still two separate things. As you guess. I guess that's one, another way of looking at it. And you definitely show you're definitely your father's daughter. Ruby. It's like, really? It's like, yeah, your father is probably the smartest person I knew. Yeah, I could probably comfortably say that he was the most feared and smartest person I knew. Your dad was always level-headed, and yeah, it's like, well, I want to be the best Hokage. I want to surpass my dad. I want to surpass every Hokage that ever was. I want to be the strongest Hokage that ever was and protect this village and the people I love. Yeah. And and I feel like with, mum, you and Ninetales by my side, I can do anything. It's like, it's like, well, like, the only people that the Ninetales hate is the Uchiha people, as they have, like, the eye that can force, like, control over them. It's just like, you know, like they'd finish, you know, like up eating by this point and go, well, you know, it's getting late, I've got to go now. It's like, you know, okay, well, see you next time then. Kakashi. Yeah. Uncle Kakashi is like, you know, alright, you know, like, keep safe, you too. As he goes and he's like, I've got to, tell this to the Yukage. Like, to, Lord Fad. As you know, he, like, goes, you know, like, he knocks on the door and Lord Fad's like, come in. It's like, I've just received new information on the Nine-Tailed Stack. Oh? Yes, it's like, who told you this? Well, it's like, well, some, like, well, I was just pondering over, and, you know, like, when I saw, like, you know, when the Nine-Tails attacked, his eye looked like, you know, the Uchiha, looked like, you know, an Uchiha was copying, you know, was forcing her, and, like, there was only one person in history that, you know, forced the, you know, Nine-Tails to attack. It's like, it's like, it couldn't have been him. It's like, you know, he's dead. You know, the first Okage slain, you know, he killed him. It's like, yes, but what happens if he had a descendant? What happens if, you know, he trained someone? Or that, you know, we don't know. And it's like, right. Yeah, you're right. Oh well. Yeah. It's like, anything else? It's like, no, Hokage-sama. Oh, you know, it's like, okay, well, I'll see you tomorrow then. No, yeah, you just say, well, okay then, bye. I just think, like, he goes. You know, you'd go to his home, and you know, we'd go, what are we gonna do tomorrow? He's like, well, I think, you know, we'd start training on, like, you know, chakra training. It's like, oh, yay! It's like, yeah, see, you know, get you to start, using your eyes also. It's like, oh, so I also get to start, using my eyes jutsu. It's like, yeah. And that's where I'm gonna end it, guys. So, if you have enjoyed this, well, no, I wouldn't immediately go into Naruto. So yeah, if you guys have liked this, if you guys have enjoyed this or liked it, tell me in the comments down below, and hit the like button if you really have enjoyed it. Yeah, of course, in the next part will probably be like, you know, like in the academy, not much really will change, as well, no, some stuff would be as should be probably in the middle, as, you know, like, she won't want to be the bottom, but she also won't want to, you know, show off and be the best in class. Yeah, and that'll, you know, explain more and why is that in that part. But until then, and the reason why I'm ending it now is because this is going to be one hell of a pain to render out. Because this is, you know, like an hour and like 28 minutes long. Yeah, or at least, you know, time of recording. Time of editing could be less. But yeah, I'll see, yeah. As I said, you know, if you guys have enjoyed it, like, if you enjoyed it so much, I want to see more just like this, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next What If or video, depending on what I do. And hey, good